Hello friends, myself Amit Belekar welcomes you to my channel Tips and Tricks by AMB. Today we are discussing about various equipment used for mixing of powders. After going through this video, you will able to classify mixers used for mixing of powders, describe principle, construction, working and application of various mixers, and list advantages and disadvantages of the mixers. So mixing of powder in laboratory, in small scale or in laboratory, mixing of powder is done by using mortar and pestle or with the help of spatula. This method of mixing powders with the help of mortar and pestle or with the help of spatula is known as trituration. While on large scale, various equipments are used for mixing of powders like agitation mixer, tumbler mixer, air or pneumatic mixers. In this video, we have to discuss about agitation mixers. Agitation mixers works on the principle of shear and convection forces which are produced because of agitation, and these forces which are produced by agitation, these are responsible for mixing of powders. Example of agitation mixers are ribbon mixers and paddle mixers. Ribbon mixer is also called as agitated powder mixer. So we will discuss these mixers one by one. First we have to discuss about ribbon mixer or agitated powder mixer. It consists of a trough or a vessel which is mounted on a stand. The trough is semicircular with a lid. It can be tilted on stand to remove the material after mixing from the vessel. So you can see the diagram here in which there is a trough which is semicircular in nature, and this trough can be tilted to remove the material from the trough after mixing process is ended. Along with vessel, in trough, helical ribbon blades are attached to the shaft. There are two types of helical ribbon blades are attached to the shaft: outer spiral ribbon and inner spiral ribbon. Outer spiral ribbon moves the material in one direction and inner spiral ribbon moves the material in opposite direction. The outer ribbon have a fairly close clearance with the wall of vessel so that no material remains in the bottom and proper mixing should be done. The shaft, it is rotated by an electric motor. So you can see how this movement can take place. These ribbons, how these ribbons can move, and these are attached to the central shaft, and these are moving in the trough and moving the material, agitating the material which is present in the trough. Ribbon mixer is used for blending or mixing of powders of different particle size or mixing of powders which are having different particle shape or powders with different density, and powders that tend to aggregate or don't flow freely. So it is having wide application in the pharmaceutical industry. Next we have to discuss about paddle mixer. It consists of a semicircular trough with lid mounted on a stand. Similarly as that of ribbon mixer, it can be tilted on stand to remove the material after mixing. In trough, a number of paddles are mounted on the shaft at diverse angles. Because these diverse angles, agitation movement and shear forces can be produced because of that diverse angle of paddles. The shaft is rotated by an electric motor. Agitation mixer, that is paddle mixer, it is also used for blending or mixing of various powders. You can see the picture here in which there is a shaft, and to that shaft various paddles are attached with diverse or different angles, and which helps in the agitation process. So next part we have to discuss, that is disadvantages of agitation mixers. Agitation mixers are having some disadvantages. First disadvantage, that is these are not precise in nature. Second disadvantage, these consume more quantity of powder than tumbling. Thus, if quantity of material to be mixed is less, then these agitation mixers cannot be used. Third disadvantage of agitation mixers is that as the gap between wall of the vessel and the paddles or the ribbon, it is very less, there are chances of grinding of material or size reduction of material can take place, and because of that it cannot be used for fragile particles which can break very easily. So these are the disadvantages of agitation mixers. Remaining mixers, that is pneumatic mixer and tumbler mixer, we will discuss in next video. In this video we had learned about equipment for mixing of powder in small scale. We had also discussed about equipments which are used for powder mixing in large scale, and we had discussed construction, working and application and disadvantages of agitation mixers. So thank you for listening me patiently. If you have any queries, you can contact me on my mail address which is given below. If you want to watch more such videos, please like and subscribe my channel Tips and Tricks by AMB.